FM system. This is 97.9 WHAV. 97.9 FM WHAV.
Catch the wave, WHAV, Merrimack Valley. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents The Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And good evening. Here we are on the Open Mic Show. Bill Macek and Bill Ellis, and we have an interesting show tonight, don't we?
We do, and I'm
Yes.
afraid there's a psychic on, Billy, and she says she's going to tell me everything negative about me.
Everything, no.
And I said the show's only 2 hours.
She's just going to tell you everything, good and bad.
I hope that she can find something good.
So let's hope so. All right, this is the Open Mic Show, heard every Monday night from 6 to 8 on WHAV, 97.9 FM. When you want to call in, and I know you're going to want to call in tonight, 978-374-1900 is the number. Matter of fact, you could call in right now and hold on, because tonight we have a couple of things. We've got a ghost hunter, Tom Spitaliere, who's renowned in all the things he will be talking about, the occult and all kinds of spooky stuff, I guess, because this is our official first annual Halloween show. And also, Tom has brought with him Madame Angie, and she is going to be doing telephone readings tonight. We're going to be doing on-air readings, so get in line, because everybody likes to have, and there's no cost for this reading tonight, so she'll give you a little information about what may be coming down the road in your future, right?
Maybe she should talk about you.
Well, I'll give her my if she wants to. If we don't have callers, I'll give my information and she can do my reading too.
I would love to hear that.
Yeah. So so would I. Okay, and that's it. So we're going to be doing all that and a whole lot more tonight.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good. Watching sports was good this weekend.
Good sports weekend. I went and saw a movie this weekend called First Man.
First Man.
About Neil Armstrong.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
good.
okay.
It had some criticism, though, because it didn't show him planting the
flag. I heard that about that.
And there was another thing that they did that I had not realized and did research afterwards. They showed him with a little girl's bracelet. He had a daughter that died just before she was 3 years old from cancer. And it shows him taking the bracelet and tossing it in one of the craters. And then I did some research. I said, I've never heard of that.
Really?
Well, apparently Hollywood took some poetic liberties.
License, yeah. Well, and, you know what? And on the other part with not doing the flag, I think we've entered the age of not just PC, but extreme PC. I'm going to create that, extreme PC.
Let me ask a question. Who would have been offended if they had actually planted the flag?
Nobody, but I think it's caused more... probably more talk. Maybe it's like more publicity, more free advertising for the movie. Maybe it was smart to do that.
Just to go see that?
Just because everybody's talking about the fact that they didn't put that flag scene in. And if they did, then there wouldn't be we wouldn't be talking about it. You'd just be saying whether you like the movie or not. Did you like the movie, Bill?
Actually, I did.
Yeah, I heard it was well done.
It was a good movie, and it shows the trials and tribulations of the astronauts. It showed when there was one of the crews, Apollo 1 crew, got killed on the launch pad when they were testing.
Yeah.
And there was, a lot has gone into this, and they showed photos and made mention of some of the others that not necessarily died as an astronaut, but died as a test pilot preparing for that.
Yeah, and then there's Apollo 13, was it, I think?
Yeah, Apollo 13, but they made it back safely.
Right, but they had some problems.
Yeah.
And Krista McAuliffe, of course, everybody knows that name. Right. And she's from New Hampshire.
That's true.
Right up the road. So
it's a lot of lives lost, but it's one of those things where Kennedy said, and they showed his speech, he said, we do it not because it's easy, we do it because it's hard.
Yeah, and he put the challenge out land a man on the moon before the turn was
By the end of the
By the
decade.
end of the decade, right?
And sure enough, it did happen,
And
July
they-
20th, 1969, and
they
poor
made
John
it.
F. Kennedy wasn't there to see it.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, okay. Let's. Anything else? Let's talk about the birthday cake, birthday anniversary
Yeah,
cake.
LBD's
Let's
second
do that.
generation Italian bakery.
Yeah, LED's second generation Italian bakery is giving out another free cake.
We draw it next week.
We draw it next week.
Yeah.
And LBD's second generation Italian bakery is in Bradford Square, right on South Main Street. They got great stuff, and they give a free cake every month to a lucky person who is either having a birthday or an anniversary in the subsequent month, the month to follow. So,
Right, so month of November.
Actually, the month after. So the month of November, we're taking calls tonight, and you can give your information to our producer, Chris, if we are in the middle of something. But call in 978-374-1900 and give us the name and the birth date, and we will put that person's name and birth date into the hat. And then, Bill, next week, because I'm going to be away next week, I'm on another mission. And so I will be, you will be holding the fort. Yes. And
So it'll be Chris
so
and I
you'll
against
be,
the world.
You'll be drawing out that name, and you'll be
Yeah,
giving
the
away
big-
the
the big-
LBD second generation
Yeah,
Italian
for
bakery
birthday or
cake
an anniversary.
for birthday or anniversary in the month of November.
Right.
Okay. All right. So let's take a quick break right now, and we'll get our guests in here on the Open Mic Show, and we'll be right back right here at 97.9 FM.
Open mic.
.9 WHAV FM presents The Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, here we are on the Open Mic Show. It is our first anniversary Halloween show with me and Bill Ellis tonight. We have our guest, Tom Spitaliere, who is a renowned ghost hunter extraordinaire. Is that safe to say?
Yes, it is,
You
Bill.
know what,
Thank you,
Andrew,
Bill.
We're going to probably need you to move in.
Yep.
And
There you go.
And you should be okay with
right.
that in volume.
So one thing I got to know right now:
What?
Are there any spirits in this room? Can you tell?
I'm not.
I'm not asking you, Bill,
I'm
because
not
you
drinking.
don't have any
I don't
talents
drink.
at all.
I don't drink.
Yeah, that's true.
A different kind of spirit.
Spirits in this room. Huh?
Can you tell if there are any? Because I think this is haunted. This room.
All right.
Not
Well,
really going to talk about this room.
that would be Tom's expertise, I think.
All right.
Okay, or maybe you can do that too. You can
Yeah.
get that. All right. Okay.
feel them too.
All right. Well, we have a caller on hold, so we have our first caller who would like to find out a little bit about his or her future. So let's go right to that call. Chris, bring up the caller. Hello, caller.
How you doing?
Good, good. All right, and you're calling because you would like to have some of your future told, maybe?
I suppose.
All right, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Madame Angie and let her ask whatever questions are appropriate, and how she handles, what she does. Go ahead, Angie.
Hi.
Hello,
So,
Madame Angie.
Madame Angie,
I'm
huh?
Mr. Brian.
Speak up loud.
That's different.
Okay.
Am I speaking good enough now that you can hear me all?
Yeah, if you could get a little closer.
closer.
Yeah.
How's
Good.
that?
Good. That's much
Okay.
better.
A little bit
Okay.
closer.
Yeah. Okay.
That's better?
That's much better.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
I've always believed that we all have some kind of psychic ability within us, but it's a question of development. Or am I totally off on that?
no, actually, you are true. You're right. You're right on the chart. All of us have the God-given sense of having psychic ability. It's just that when we're in this world and we are brought up in it, we are definitely feeling from people a different feeling of like, oh, well, if you see this or you hear this or you're not supposed to, you can't, quiet, don't tell them. So you're constantly, it comes from your birth time, okay? When you're born, you can actually feel a person's emotions, or you can feel a person's thoughts and sense a person's thoughts. However, as the spoken word comes out to you and you start to realize, like for a child, for instance, it's time for bed. Mom knows that she's had a really long day and she really should, just put you to bed and get moving so she can be ready for the next day. And so in her mind, she's thinking, I'd love to spend some time with my child right now. But her voice is stating, no, you have to go to bed. And this child is revolting because it senses that feeling from her, and it's not understanding why it can't listen to that feeling. And so as we go along, it starts to realize that the voice takes control over the feeling of what their empathic feeling is getting. So therefore, as we go through this journey and more people tell us, no, that's not right, you couldn't feel this, you shouldn't do this, we allow ourselves to acknowledge that and let go of that sense. And so if we didn't let go of that sense, some of us don't. And primarily I find that most of the people who don't let go of that sense are those that had to take care of things from a very young age, or had some experiences where they always had to watch their back, and that's because they have to become more aware of their surroundings, and so therefore they open up to the spirit. So that's my outlook on that, and I feel that you are correct in what you're feeling.
So, Brian, would you like to maybe have her try to look into your future a little bit?
Sure.
So, Brian, I'm just going to ask you, what is your birth month and day?
October 14th.
Thank you.
You need the year too?
No, nothing more than that right now. I'm just trying to zone into your energy over the airways. I'm going to say to you that there's a lot of things that were going to be transpiring for you as you go forward from, actually, this is October. I want to say in November, December, you're going to have some doors that open for you. Make sure that if you feel like doing something, or if you see that you want to encourage yourself to get something completed, know that it will get completed within the next 2 months, but you have to focus completely on it. They're telling me that you need to take your focus off of all the small stuff around you, because it doesn't really concern you. And because you've been focusing on some of these smaller items, it's taken away from you getting to the point where you want to in your journey. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so what I'm going to say and this is when I'm doing this, it's coming through from Spirit, not from myself. But they are saying to you that know that by next year, You'll be ready to close the doors to anything that's old, and the following year, you'll be opening up to new adventures. There's going to be some traveling for you this coming year. Take and go to the traveled areas because it's going to help you to make your decisions for the years to come. Okay, so make sure that you do take the trips. Anything specific that you want to look at?
Well, I was wondering about like certain issues that I'm having in my life right now. You know, lots of unanswered questions, and I've always figured that everything happens for a reason, and we don't necessarily learn what that reason is.
Not all the time. No, we don't. So these issues that you're surrounded with right now, are they to do with family or are they to do with work?
Neither one, actually. You know, I'm pretty much alone now.
Okay.
Well, when I say alone, I'm not really alone. I mean, I have relatives not far from here.
Okay. Well, I'm going to pull you a card. Oh, okay, so they're telling you to make the magic. From what I'm hearing from this, okay, you have to actually go within yourself. Don't let everybody tell you, I should do this, I should do that, you should do this, you should do that, okay? It's primarily going within yourself and staying there. It's like hibernating and saying, okay, I'm going to think about this and what is the best for me. And you're the one that has created the magic in the past, and you can still do that. But you have to take it upon yourself to listen to what's within you, not what is coming from someone else.
Right.
And
Well,
right
I
now, I
think
think most of your confusion is coming because of all the other voices surrounding you. Does that make sense?
Overwhelming it is.
Yeah. So drop those other voices and know that deep within yourself, you know what's the truth. And irregardless of how they feel, it's your truth that you need to follow.
Okay, that's some great advice. Thanks for calling in, Brian.
Okay.
We're-
Well, I still want to ask about how do we know which psychics to go to, because I know that there are many out there that.
Well, Brian, if they're trying to sell you the $80 stone to make it all go away, it's obviously that you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And I would say, what about the online? I get these unsolicited online email psychics. What do you think of them? Any ideas or? Probably not. You know, maybe. How about yourself? Would you be?
I myself?
Would you like to mention your?
I myself,
your contact information.
Yeah, my contact information is very simple. It's angiedanjou.com. And you can reach me at 603-321-4818 on my regular business phone. I'm also available at a lot of different events throughout the area, and I put on some psychic fairs. However, we're talking about this, and people call me if they want to have a reading. I do put on. Sometimes, obviously, we all have to advertise because people have to know we exist.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. We're going to move on. We have another caller, and then we're going to need to take a short break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk first to Tom Spitaliere about some of his ghost hunting and ghost information right here on the Open Mic Show. But let's go to our next caller. Hello, caller. Are you there? Potted up. It's up. Yep. Okay. Once again, the technical expertise is not as strong as it should be on this side of the glass, so we'll.
What's that?
I think he's coming in.
Listen to the psychic, Billy. She'll
Yeah.
tell you exactly
You
what you're
think that
supposed to
one?
do. Hit it.
That's a talkback button, I think.
Well, you
All
want
right.
somebody to talk back to you, don't you?
Yeah. Well, now.
You know what I want to find out about Brian?
You know what? Let's. Go ahead.
Is Brian going to have any more future nude sunbathing episodes on his
Now,
porch?
stop that. You know that isn't even true.
That's what he said. He told us that a long time ago. Remember that?
Well, let him speak for himself.
Well, I'm just
you
curious.
are nothing but a troublemaker.
I'm not a troublemaker.
Even when people aren't even on the phone with you, you make trouble.
I'm sure Brian has a laugh right now.
I'm sure he's laughing. Yeah, he is
Hey,
a great
Bill.
guy. He's a regular caller.
Bill.
Yes.
I don't know this guy as well as you do, but I got a prediction here.
Yeah.
I think he was born in the same town as me, St. Olaf, so we're both saints.
I'm a saint,
Yeah.
Saint William.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I would think, though, Billy? If you get emails from psychics, if they were really that good and they would know that you weren't interested, they wouldn't send you the email.
There you go. That's so because I always just hit delete, and I've never gone much beyond the opening line.
That's a good thing. I remember years ago when Dionne Warwick was doing
Oh,
those
yeah.
things for
I remember that.
Psychic Hotline.
Yeah.
And there was
yes.
a comedian that said, "Do you think she could ask one of those psychics the next time she's going to have a hit?"
Yeah.
Because it would have been a long way the way to San Jose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what we got going here. I think Chris is writing us a whiteboard message. And maybe we'll have something. If
Maybe the
let's
spirits
see,
in the room are
and
making
the
things
message
bad.
says,
Take a break.
Take a break. Okay, we'll take a break a little bit early, and we'll be right back for the first annual Halloween show on the Open Mic Show right here on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
It's 6:27.
Those Boston stations don't always understand weather in the Merrimack Valley. Stay informed with WAVE weather every 30 minutes, 24 hours a day on Soft Gold WHAV.
Catch the wave.
Hi, it's Gary LaPierre. I worked for WHAV. It was brief. Long story. Tell you sometime. Anyway, become a WHAV member or renew your membership now. Just visit WHAV.net and click on the membership tab.
AutoFair Subaru of Haverhill has been an active member in the community for years. It's proud to partner with great organizations like Veterans Northeast Outreach Center, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and Katydid Foundation of Haverhill. These selfless charities are vital to our community, and AutoFair takes great pride in helping. AutoFair Subaru encourages everyone to see what they can do to help make our city and the surrounding areas a better place for everyone. There's a list of supported charities at AutoFairSubaru.com.
Wave weather.
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. Clouds quickly thicken up this evening into the overnight, becoming cloudy with a low near 37. Calm breeze and only around 5 miles per hour from the southeast tomorrow. Few isolated showers early in the day and more scattered rain chances as we go through the afternoon. Temperatures just around 50. Rain chances gradually diminish as Tuesday evening turns into night. Lows again around 40 degrees and a light breeze. Mainly cloudy skies Wednesday and isolated shower. Temperatures top out between about 50 and 53. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
Catch the wave. WHAV. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents The Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we're back at 6:30 on the Open Mic Show, heard every Monday night on WHAV from 6 until 8 p.m. I'm Bill Macek, and my co-host is Bill Ellis, and our guests for tonight, we have a special Halloween show, and we have Angie, who is a psychic and is doing readings. If you call in, 978-374-1900, if you can get in. Right now, our lines are tied up. And also Tom Spitaliere, our resident ghost hunter for the Merrimack Valley and beyond. And we're going to be talking with Tom in just a little bit, but we've got a couple of people on the phone that would like to speak with Angie. So let's go to our first caller. Hello, caller. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, now you're on. Okay. And you are speaking with Angie.
Hello, what's your name?
Hi, Angie. My name is Brenda.
Hi, Brenda. What can we do for you this evening?
I don't know. I was just trying to get a reading, maybe.
Okay, is there anything in particular that you want to focus on, Brenda?
My better half.
Your better half. Okay.
Uh-huh.
First name.
Jim.
Thank you. Just give me a moment. I'm focusing into it. Okay, so Brenda, I'm going to say to you that there's a little confusion when I hear the name Jim. Okay, they bring me a lot of confusion around me. So I'm not sure if he's having some issues with communicating with somebody or if he's having issues getting the word out correctly. Is there something to do with communication with this?
No, we get along really well. We've been together going on 12 years.
Well, actually, the communication doesn't always have to be about you. It's about him being a little bit communicative to the people that surround him.
Oh, okay. Well, sometimes he has a hard time communicating.
Yeah. I just feel that there's a lot more social activities that need to be, both of you have to get involved with a little bit more socializing. And when I say that, that means that there's some time to go and play, you know. Too much work can make for we stagnate a little bit. So there's a little bit of time here that needs to be put into playing time. And
That's what I tell him all the time.
but you see, in order to get him to do that, he needs to be fulfilled with the communication piece of this. Okay, so perhaps it's as simple as this is happening Friday and here's a ticket. Or this is happening Friday and I'll meet you here.
All right, that sounds
Turn it
great.
around,
That's
okay?
lovely.
Turn it around so that he can't take control of that. And once he does it, because he's going to feel that he needs to do it, he'll start to realize that it's a nice lightening up and it's good for both of you.
Okay, thank you.
Do you understand that?
I do.
I hope that you can work with that.
Oh, absolutely, I will.
All right.
There's some place that I want to go soon, and
There you go. Just put it out on the calendar.
we're
Give it.
going to a concert.
Very good.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. And it's that simple, 978-374-1900. You can call and speak to Angie for a free on-air reading tonight. We are doing this until 8 o'clock tonight. We do have another caller on hold, and we're going to go right to that call now. Hello, caller.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. I got a question for Angie. I don't know if she's much of a sports fan, but I want to know this. Out of all the New England teams, who do you think is going to win a championship within this decade?
Oh, wow. Put me on the spot now, will you, huh? What is your name? What is your name?
John.
Hi.
John.
Oh, John. Okay.
John.
So, John, oh, boy. That's putting me on a spot there, buddy. I do want to say, though, that I do see the Red Sox doing their deal. This is my feeling about the Red Sox. And what they send me sometimes when we feel things ahead of time, because the spirits have given me some information, sometimes something goes wrong and that gets changed. Remember that what we speak of is in the moment, and the moment can get changed by one error. But as I can see it, I feel that it's going to be a little bit of a struggle at first, but they're going to pull through.
Awesome.
It's funny you're talking about that because I'm sure you saw the Patriots football game on Sunday.
No, actually, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Well, I'll tell you right now, before the game, I was sitting there with my husband, and I was sitting there and saying, I keep seeing fumbles. And, of course, if anybody in this room saw the football game on Sunday, it was a game of fumbles.
It was.
And I was just like, what am I seeing fumbles? And I said, they're going to fumble it. And then all of a sudden, they fumbled the whole game through. So
I'm not worried about the Red Sox or the Patriots.
Who are you worried about?
The Bruins. I don't want to be.
Oh, the Bruins. Oh, my goodness. Well, the Bruins. There's a little act that has to get together. There's something about somebody's contract that has to get resolved or something before they can really pull this off. So it's
I
kind
liked
of
it in the old days when the contracts were the last thing you're worried about.
Well, it's up in the air because there's somebody there that really either isn't doing their thing or they shouldn't be there. That's what I'm getting spiritually, and so that I feel that can get ironed out, and if it does, then they can flow.
But I'm sure everybody that's sitting there is knowing what I'm talking about. Almost 40 years to win a Stanley Cup.
Well, you know, what are you going to do?
They make it exciting. They may not get the cup, but they usually make it exciting.
Yeah, they do make it exciting.
Yeah.
You know what?
If you were sitting in my house, you'd hear me swearing at my phone, not the TV.
Okay, so we don't get a Stanley Cup, but you know what? How many times have we been in the World Series, or how many times have we had a football team that, you know, runs right to the door? So we can't complain because most of our teams get right up there, whereas a lot of these areas, they never even get to see what that's like.
Right. It's true.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for calling in, John. We appreciate your call very much. And we're going to... and our producer says we have another call, so let's just keep rolling with the calls for now. Hello, caller. You're next. You're on the air. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah? Hi.
Okay. Hi. How are you?
Not bad. Angie, I'd like to ask you a question.
Okay, what is your name?
My name is Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Do you believe in second sight or dream walking?
Second sight or dream walking? You're speaking of like going into dreams and actually being someplace in your dream? Like for real?
Right. I'd like to know why I have these.
Because your subconscious is available to do this. When we go into our dream state, or when we go into when we're tired, okay, when we've had it and we finally fall asleep, we allow ourselves to do more than what we do when we're like in control of our whole system. So what you're experiencing is your need to do some dream walking because of the fact that you don't open up to any of your spiritual stuff when you're not in that dream stage. But I don't know how that makes sense to you, but it's like, in other words, you're in a totally silent mode with your whole body. It's shut down. And so now your inner spirit is flowing, it's flying, it's having some fun.
Okay, and what about the second sight?
And then, now, please give me an idea about the second sight.
A second sight is like seeing something happen before it does.
Oh, okay. You have that intuitive ability. It's there for most people have it. Deja vu. They also have where they can see something coming. I remember one time I saw an entire funeral that I didn't even know was going to happen, and then I walked into the funeral and it was exactly the way it was that I had seen it.
Yes,
this is something
I've had
that's
this all my life.
It's something that so. It's just bringing you that premonition to let you know that that's happening. Sometimes those can be fearful, though. I don't like having that happen, to be honest with you, because sometimes it gets it is kind of a scary, freaky feeling. What I suggest to you with those is to ask your guides, ask your divine, to please shut that off. Because, we have free will, and so we don't have to see things or feel things that we don't want to feel or see. In second sights, sometimes they're good because you can forewarn somebody, but other times they can be a nuisance. So you have to pick and choose and kind of say, speak with your guide, speak with your divine, and say, look, you've had me go through these. They're not doing any justice because it just messes me up inside. Please stop. I don't want to see that any longer. Trust me, that is your intention. That's what's going to go on. Does that make sense to you? Hello?
Did we lose the
We
caller?
lost the call?
Well, you know what? I think you gave her a lot of good information. And hello, caller. Are you still there? Yeah. Okay.
I'm still here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Did that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It makes a lot of sense to
Okay.
me.
And,
Can I ask?
Yep.
Can I ask you to read a card for me?
Okay. Just pull a card for you to see what they're going to bring me.
Yes, please.
They bring you that you have to be careful of some situations that are around you, but just move beyond them. Don't hold on to them. Don't keep fear. Move forward fearlessly.
I appreciate it very much.
Okay? Thank you.
You have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Thank you, and thank you for calling and listening to the Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM. And Chris, do we have any callers on hold, or can we move on to? Let's give Tom. We'll give you a break, Angie, and you can catch your breath. And you can call in if you would like to get an on-air reading from Angie right here at 97.7 FM WHAV at 978-374-1900. It's the Open Mic Show. Tom, let's talk to you for a few minutes about some of the things you'd like to speak about that we brought you in for tonight, and that would be interesting to our audience, especially at Halloween.
Yes, Halloween. It's my favorite holiday of the season.
I'm
believe
sure
it
it
or
is.
not. Yes, number one. Anyone guess what number two is? We don't talk about number two. Number three would be that guy that goes down the chimney. Would be number three. But number one holiday, Halloween, always been my favorite ever since I was a little Tom. And this is the time of year where, a lot of things do happen. I mean, spirits are out year-round. I mean, Essex County doesn't have time to breathe. Halloween ends November. We got cases already planned. So it's not like we're going to be stopping on October 31st. But, this is the time of year where people like to go do things, and there's a lot of things going on. I mean, you got Salem, and you got... I got a couple free talks coming up at the Lawrence Heritage State Park Wednesday night, and that's going to be on gravestones and the history of gravestone and gravestone carvings, and then some paranormal pictures afterwards of taken in cemeteries. And then next Wednesday, I'm going to talk about my favorite subject, channeling, at the Nevins Library.
You know what? We should try to see, what's her name, Hannah Dustin? Can we channel her? She's famous, Billy.
I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hannah
She goes,
Dustin.
She was
she
from
goes back
Haverhill.
quite a few years.
She's from Haverhill,
She's
yeah.
from Haverhill.
I know the whole
400
story.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can get her on the show, I'll work for free. Oh, I already do.
That's right. Well,
And then we got a fundraiser.
we can work on
coming up,
that.
too.
Tom will work on that.
We got a big fundraiser coming up in Seabrook on Friday night with a couple well-known paranormal authors from the area. So that'll be a fun time for the old meeting house. We're going to try to keep the old meeting house standing up there, 1789 building.
So Tom,
1789 was famous
Tom,
for what?
let the people know a little bit about what
George Washington.
what you
Yeah.
do, what you.
All right.
You sometimes are called in to
Oh, yeah.
go into private homes.
Yes.
And
So
talk about that.
on a typical week, I'll be doing a lot of different things. Sometimes just chatting on the phone about life in general with a few people, and then my phone rings. Someone gets a call. Essex County Ghost Project. Yeah, how can I help you? Well, I get spirits in my house. So what goes on in your house? Because every house call we get is different. Sometimes it's just displaced keys. Sometimes it's my baby was elevated and thrown down a flight of stairs.
You actually had that.
Had that happen a few times. And November 7th of this year will be 10 years I've been running
Can you
Essex
bring
County.
a spirit up for child abuse?
No, you can't. You don't know what you're going to get for a call. And now here's the other problem.
Have you ever seen it, though? Have you ever walked in a room all of a sudden something gets thrown across the room?
Yes.
Or you have
Yep.
seen that?
I have. And
Did they throw it
actually-
in your direction or just throw it?
Actually, I was doing a fundraiser, and this one I can talk about location. Sometimes with locations, we don't give them away. But I was doing a fundraiser for the Sandown Historical Society at the old Sandown Meeting House. I went up on the pulpit because they said there was a lot of spirit activity and started praising the Catholic Bible in a old meeting house. There's a window behind me. I almost got escorted out the window. I could feel my body heading towards the window. That was a little interesting.
Now, why do you think it was? Because
The spirit was obviously a little upset.
Jewish spirit, maybe? Or?
No, probably some old colonial minister that wasn't too happy with the...
Didn't like your fire and brimstone speech?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that happens. We've been to houses where I've had to call in. In fact, one night we did two houses in Haverhill back to back on the same piece of property. I had to call in 5 different teams to help me out that night because the houses were so big. We ended up bringing in a demonologist to clean the area out because it was that bad of a spirit.
Okay, we're going to take a short break, Tom, but I want you to give your contact information, and I'm going to have Angie give hers before we take the break.
Mine's Essex County Ghost Project at yahoo.com or 978-376-2807. That's the quickest way to get a hold of me.
Okay. And Angie, give your contact information again.
Angie at angiedanjou.com or 603-321-4818.
Okay, you know what? You better spell the last name.
Oh, my last name. It's Danjou.
Danjou. Okay, Angie Danjou at, what was it?
Oh, it's Angie, A-N-G-I-E.
A-N-G-I-E.
At angiedanjou.com.
Oh, okay. All right, great. All right, well, we're going to be right back with more on-air readings, some more ghost stories, and we'll be doing it all on this, our first annual Open Mic Halloween show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
Public radio for Greater Haverhill. This is 97.9 WHAV.
Paul Ryan, HHS class of 1971, and Tommy Morgan, HHS class of 2013, are good sports. They're on 97.9 WHAV FM every Wednesday night from 6 to 8. Ryan and Morgan talk about local high school sports, the Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, and more. You can join in with your calls. Good Sports is sponsored in part by attorney Gerard LaFlamme, Ideal Frame, Brian S. Dempsey Insurance Agency, Levitt's Auto and Truck, and The Chicken Connection. Good Sports every Wednesday night at 6. On the way, 97.9 WHAV FM.
Say Smith. Mercedes-Benz has for over 50 years. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill offers new and certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz SUVs, crossovers, sedans, and coupes. And with its state-of-the-art sales and service facility, Smith is able to offer a different kind of customer experience unlike any other. Countless reasons, one choice. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill at 420 River Street, routes 110 and 113. There's more on the web at onlymercedes.com.
WHAV Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents The Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And we're back on the first annual Halloween show on the Open Mic right here at WHAV 97.9 FM. The lines are available if you want to call in for an on-air reading at 978-374-1900. Angie will be glad to do that for you. And then, of course, we have Tom Spitaliere here, our ghost guy. So, Tom, you were just saying during the break that there is a rumor, an old rumor, about a Bigfoot character in Haverhill.
Yes. Actually, when I got the call on this one, I get a lot of phone calls. We're going to talk about a couple of the other spirits that are known Haverhill spirits tonight, too. But let's talk about the furry man, too, first, Bigfoot. I got a call from somebody that said they were in the 60s, 70s time frame up on Silver Hill. Beautiful Silver Hill. Great picturesque view from the city, I bet, back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And 70s. There was an apple orchard up there, and they were walking through the orchard, and this big hairy creature scared the living daylights out of him, and he actually got hurt. He actually ran from this thing. As I did further research, I found out in the late 70s, Haverhill High School actually had a cryptozoology club that published their own newsletters, too.
Yeah.
That was interesting that a local high school in the late 70s would actually do that. But then you go back in the history of cryptozoology, and what I call the science book of cryptozoology by Lauren Coleman came out around that time in the 70s. Mysterious America. That's about the same time the Bridgewater Triangle was called up, the Bermuda Triangle, which more people are familiar with. A lesser-known triangle, which probably most people haven't heard of, and I've done a lot of research on there, is the Ossipee Triangle. And then there's the Pacific Ring of Fire. Those all came out roughly around the same time.
Yeah, but is the Pacific Ring of Fire volcanoes?
It is, but there's also been some weird sightings in that area.
Now, I'm curious to find out. We hear about Bigfoot.
Yes.
And you mentioned Bigfoot being a man. There's got to be Bigfoot females out there.
Oh, of course there are. There's been sightings of what they believe were Bigfoot women, too.
Now, how do they know they're women versus men? I mean, they've got hairy exteriors, and nobody really gets that close. And every photograph I've ever seen has been blurry.
Well, some people have taken ones of little children, and some have taken undoubtedly questionable female Bigfoots.
Would you like to see a Bigfoot female, Bill?
Only if I had a long path to run.
And then the question becomes, what are Bigfoot? There's been many sightings of Bigfoot in some locations where there's no way it's getting up there or coming down. I've read Bigfoot sightings on the sides of cliffs. People go up the cliff and go, where in God's name did he go? Or where in whatever name did he go? Because if he stepped the wrong way, he was going off the cliff, and you probably would have heard him.
Now, Bigfoot seen around the world?
Yes.
All right. And the Indians call it what, Sasquatch?
Yes.
All right.
Abominable snowmen, they have many different names. The skunk ape down in Florida.
I saw that cartoon.
Tom, do you think that any of your sightings or any of the things you've heard about could be extraterrestrial?
Well, there is a belief in the Bigfoot field because where Bigfoot show up, UFOs tend to show up. But also, too, there's also a belief that they might be able to time travel or time warp, which means you see them and then they're gone. They warp themselves somewhere else.
No, you think they're from the past to the future?
That's a good question that no one's been able to answer yet. A lot of these questions, and I get these all the time, are very unanswerable because there's no perfect science. No one's ever captured a Bigfoot and said, hey, look, and taken DNA samples and go, hey, he's either part human or, wait a minute, this DNA doesn't even match our DNA. Are they from Jupiter or Mars or Venus or wherever? No one really knows.
Interesting. You know, you speak of the DNA. There was a thing on 60 Minutes last night. I don't know if anybody caught it. And how they can take the DNA from somebody, and though they may not know you or the person, they go through the maternal and the paternal sides by taking DNA from certain people, from what they have, and son of a gun, they've been able to match it up to people.
No kidding.
And even if it's back a few generations.
Interesting.
UFOs is another interesting. In one of the local papers about 5 years ago, they printed there was a UFO sighted over Lafayette Square. That same night, I was coming home from the seacoast of New Hampshire, and this white light, flew right towards my car, literally right over the car. It was quite cool. I didn't know what it was. It happened so quickly. I don't know what
how about
happened near the Amesbury Sports
the famous
Club on
experience
495.
up in the Kangamangas Highway?
Yes, that's actually a historical marker up there. The state put a historical marker, Benny and Bonnie Hill.
Now, it's my understanding
And
that...
in fact, I think the kid that's listening, that put that marker up there, might even be listening tonight.
Now, that story, tell a little bit more of it, Tom. I mean, that's they were actually taken.
They were
supposedly,
taken,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know the whole story, Bill, but I know
taken
they were
into
taken
the space
into the
they're
ship.
Into the
yes.
ship, right. They were analyzed.
They were
and
analyzed.
they were let go.
He had
Correct.
fake teeth. He had false teeth. And she said that they came in and started tugging on her teeth, seeing if they came
Thinking
out.
if
She said that they stuck a needle in her by belly button. well, what do they call it? Amniocentesis or something, where the amniocentesis, when they can check for, pregnancy. But at that time, apparently, that wasn't a known medical factor.
No.
Wow.
And I think with her also is she asked where they were from, and they said it's not going to mean anything to you, but they showed like a map on the on the wall, and she through hypnosis remembered where all the different dots were, and it wasn't until the Hubble telescope came out and they found an exact image of what she had portrayed on paper.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. It's really interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff.
So she didn't say Las Vegas.
No, but it's funny you mentioned Las Vegas because I've been getting a psychic feeling during the whole time. I keep getting an image of a guy with his pockets turned inside out walking away from a table crying. Is that something that could be happening?
Never be me.
Oh, it's funny. He's your height, but I can't tell because he's walking from behind.
This is your inner psychic ability
Yes.
working. Yes. See, you have it too. Angie's
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
it.
everybody.
We
He's
all
rubbing
have it. So
off.
you're working that well now. So
He does a good job, doesn't he?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
But no,
anyway.
but I have a feeling. I mean, we've definitely been visited by somebody. I just can't see that this whole huge universe is only us.
No.
I mean, it just seems to be too much out there,
Well-
and they say there's a lot of other life building
Anyone know
blocks,
the
We're
most
coming up on the anniversary of War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of which this station's going to be playing it.
Yeah, I think Tim is going to play
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that original.
It's around its 70th anniversary,
Yeah.
I think, and
No,
It's in-
1939.
yeah,
it came out.
Yeah, so it's getting close. And Tim has the rights to play that, and I believe he's going to program it. We were at least talking about it.
Yes.
It's very interesting to listen to that.
And
it
he's in
really,
the other room. He's going to give us it right now.
He's giving us the right date.
I'm
not gonna ask
I think
you-
it's 38.
It's
Yeah.
1938. Okay, I'm
1938,
sorry,
so it is 70
1938.
years. 80 years. 80 years.
1939 was The Wizard of Oz. 1938 was the Mercury Theater in Orson
And
Welles.
Tim, since you're doing the whiteboard so well, are you going to be playing it on WHAV this year?
Why doesn't he
Yes,
join in?
Bill.
He owns the
Oh,
station.
he's going to the
It's
microphone.
the 80th anniversary, and as far as we know, we are the only station actually authorized by the copyright owner to air it.
And so that will be airing, do you want to say
On
now,
the
or you
exact
haven't
date,
yet programmed?
October 30th
October 30th?
at 10 o'clock. But because most people in the United States didn't hear the broadcast, they were listening to Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, we're going to run that broadcast at 9.
Ah, nice. All right.
Oh, that's
Great-
going to be cool.
Great programming, and you only get that kind of stuff right here on WHAV.
Maybe
Thanks to that guy, Tim Coco.
Maybe we should do a remote from Grover's Mills.
Yeah, right.
That would be nice.
Well, that would be nice. Okay, we're
So Bill
Have you
Ellis
ever,
can
anybody
play,
in here ever seen an alien?
I can't hear anymore.
Sorry,
All
legal
right.
aliens, but I
Bill
haven't
Ellis
seen
can play the,
Martian
You know, I
alien.
think I've
The
seen some
reporter who
stuff,
gets shot by
you
the
know,
Martian.
many years ago that was at least suspect. And the interesting thing that I remember, because I was much younger, and Pease Air Force Base was open, so I often wondered if it was our government flying space-like craft around, because from Pease Air Force Base to Haverhill, in a direct line, and especially at the speed of those crafts, you know, maybe it was the beginning of a stealth aircraft or something, and it reflected a certain way. But I have to wonder if our government was also. What do you think, Tom?
Well, there's been numerous UFO sightings around Pease Air Force Base. In fact, the guy that we got coming to Seabrook has done many documentary, interviewed many people that have seen many different sightings around Pease. But not just at Pease. The Air Force bases all across this country. Some that have now shuttered and closed
So
because
all in proximity.
all in proximity.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they've seen them even over Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. People have told me that work there have seen weird things. But, of course, when anytime you... In fact, one night we were taking a cruise up north. And we're on Route 1A. And this thing came hovering right over the car.
Wow.
And
you know
I'm
what?
like,
I'm going to
it's
make
a
people
helicopter.
I'm going to wait.
Oh,
make
we're gonna
people
wait. Okay.
to hear the rest of that story, because we have to stop for top of the hour information right here on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open mic.
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
It's 7 o'clock.
WHAV LP Haverhill.
Here's what's happening in local news. By this time next year, city officials are hoping no child in Haverhill schools will have to go hungry for breakfast or lunch. At the October 11th school committee meeting, Superintendent Margaret Marotta confirmed the district is pursuing avenues to take part in the community eligibility provision, with at least 3/4 of Haverhill schools expected to qualify for universal free breakfast and lunch. Offered as a federal benefit through the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the meal reimbursement program would supply all students at qualifying schools free nutritious options at no cost to families. In order to qualify, Haverhill Public Schools must submit a list of eligible children, and as Marotta explained, a decline in record keeping resulted in a tally that does not accurately represent district's needs. The record keeping concern was addressed in a recent outside audit of the school system issued by the Massachusetts Association of School Business Officials earlier this month. Once the totals are properly reported, the school's reimbursement rate improves, making it a smart solution for Haverhill, Marotta said. After a school qualifies, all students get the meal benefit regardless of income level.
It's a wonderful thing for families, right? Not to have to worry, even if it's $10 or $15 a week, it's $10 or $15 a week per child. It's the whole school has the free lunch or free breakfast, so kids don't have to feel, like they stand out. Everyone gets a free meal.
Participation in the program would also cut down on paperwork and back-end administrative costs, the superintendent said. School Committeeman Sven Amirian, who sits on the district's wellness committee, applauded the effort.
If kids aren't coming to school, well fed, they're already in a position where they're at a great disadvantage to learning. If we're able to achieve this and all of our kids can get a free breakfast and a free lunch, that eliminates that stigma. It's assured that our kids are getting the nutrition that they need to perform well, throughout the day. It's just a wonderful thing.
Amirian said he'd support allocating additional funding to make the program successful, as it could be a cost saver in the long run. Marotta's plan to pursue the program was backed by Masbo officials, who called the undertaking beneficial for all Haverhill students and families. Confused about the 3 questions on November's upcoming election ballot? Well, you're not alone. Voters across the Merrimack Valley are torn over, among others, Question 1, which details the proposal that could limit the number of patients assigned to registered nurses at hospitals across the state. To help residents make a more informed decision at the polls, Haverhill Citizens Center hosts a session with representatives from Lawrence General Hospital to discuss both sides of the issue. The 3 p.m. session, Thursday, October 25th, is free and open to all. Advance registration is requested by calling Kathy or Rita at 978-374-2390. Also on Thursday, Haverhill's Democratic City Committee hosts an evening session starting at 7 p.m. at 4 Merrimack Street, with plans to discuss all questions on the ballot. Question 2 concerns limiting election spending, and Question 3 proposes to repeal the 2016 state law that banned discrimination against transgender people in public places like restaurants and restrooms. No advance registration is necessary for that free event. Nearly a month after the death of Haverhill High senior Jordan Rankin, city councilors are taking additional steps to address pedestrian safety in the city. At Tuesday's meeting, Councilor Joseph Bevilacqua plans to introduce downtown coffee shop owner Dana DeFranco to offer thoughts on how to improve crosswalk safety in Haverhill's business district. Also at Tuesday's meeting, councilors are set to hear a petition for a new used car dealership on Canosa Avenue. Updates on the Hack Haverhill Civic Technology Competition and the upcoming November 4th Veterans Alliance of Greater Haverhill Breakfast will also be offered. WHAV will broadcast the City Council meeting live from the Theodore Pelosi Chambers starting at 7 p.m. on the 23rd. A full list of this week's municipal meetings is available at WHAV.net. Haverhill's existing Vietnam War Memorial is getting a good cleaning ahead of the statue's pre-Veterans Day dedication at the city's new memorial at Mill Street Park. On Friday morning, the statue bearing the names of the city's lost servicemen was removed from its original home on the Water Street side of the Basileir Bridge by Rick Atwood of Atwood Memorials, who plans to spruce up the slab before it's relocated. Jay Davidowitz, who is donating the excavator and labor to move the existing memorial, which will be moved to the other side of town within the next week. Members of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Ad Hoc Commission plan to host a formal dedication ceremony at the new site near Plug Pond Friday, November 10th. The commission encourages veterans and families interested in taking part in the program to contact VFW Commander Keith Gopsel via email at cmd@vfw29.org. Remember, WHAV is the only Haverhill-based news source. There's always more at WHAV.net. From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, I'm Eric Scott.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Kate Fisher. US President Trump said he's not satisfied with Saudi Arabia's explanation of the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. North and South Korea, with the support of the United Nations, have agreed to remove all firearms and guard posts from the main village in the demilitarized zone. And President Trump is pulling the US out of an arms control treaty with Russia.
Say Smith. Mercedes-Benz has for over 50 years. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill offers new and certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz SUVs, crossovers, sedans, and coupes. And with its state-of-the-art sales and service facility, Smith is able to offer a different kind of customer experience unlike any other. Countless reasons, one choice. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill at 420 River Street, routes 110 and 113. There's more on the web at onlymercedes.com.
Wave weather.
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. Clouds quickly thicken up this evening into the overnight, becoming cloudy with a low near 37. Calm breeze and only around 5 miles per hour from the southeast tomorrow. Few isolated showers early in the day and more scattered rain chances as we go through the afternoon. Temperatures just around 50. Rain chances gradually diminish as Tuesday evening turns into night. Lows again around 40 degrees and a light breeze. Mainly cloudy skies Wednesday, an isolated shower. Temperatures top out between about 50 and 53. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
If you want to know what's going on at WHAV, sign up for the free monthly Wavelengths newsletter online at WHAV.net. Broadcasting on the Armstrong FM system, this is 97.9 WHAV.
Catch the wave, WHAV, Merrimack Valley. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents The Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And welcome back to the second hour of the Open Mic Show, heard every Monday night from 6 until 8 p.m. on WHAV. We are having a special first annual Halloween show tonight, and our guests are Tom Spitaliere, Ghost Hunter, and also we have Angie on, who is a psychic who can tell people what may be in their future if you give her a little bit of information. So if you want to call in 978-374-1900, we are doing on-air free readings. So give us a call, and Angie will be glad to try and help you with your future. She just gave me a little bit of advice, but I really wanted to know about the big lottery coming up, $1.6 billion, and she can tell you about that too. But she told me that she thinks she already has that captured for herself.
Yeah, that's right.
So 978-374-1900 is the number to call. Now, Tom, I stopped you
In the middle of a
right in the middle
yes.
of a story. So people that want to hear the end of your story,
We'll start all over.
Start over. That was at 7 o'clock. We had to break
Yeah.
for important
Somebody
information.
might have forgotten. Yes, there's a lot of important
All right.
information.
Well, what were you saying?
So we were driving up Route 1A around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. It was around March in Rye, New Hampshire.
Okay.
Right near the marshes.
Been
if anyone's
there, yeah.
familiar with that area.
Been there, yeah.
Someone in the car says there's a helicopter flying over. Well, if it was a plane or a helicopter with all those lights on it, it was quite the light show underneath this thing, and it was quite low, too. And I watched it. By the time I was able to stop and get my binoculars out, it dropped the tree line it went over the marshes and dropped the tree line.
Wow.
So I made some phone calls to some friends of mine. And I was told it was a drone. And I'm saying to myself, if that thing was a drone, we got problems in this world. Because I've seen drones. They're not that big.
So how long ago was this?
Actually, it was this year.
Oh, it was this year. Okay,
This year.
so a lot of drones out there. So
Yeah.
you think it was too big?
Too big.
Too
Too
big.
big, too many lights, and it definitely wasn't a plane.
Okay.
Definitely wasn't a plane. So that's quite interesting. But, we're in Haverhill. Haverhill's a very old community, 1641.
Right, 1640. Founded in 1640.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, heck, that came out of my head wrong, but that's all right.
It's all right.
We have a very old Haverhill, and there's a lot of old buildings. There's a lot of old graveyards, and there's a lot of old spirits rolling around here. And there was a great writer from Haverhill. You guys ever hear of John Greenleaf Whittier?
Yes.
Yes. He wrote a lot about, believe it or not, the paranormal. We got Whittier's Haunted Bridge up off of Route 110 up there.
Right.
We have the Countess.
The Countess.
Yes.
Yeah. She was buried down on East
Broadway, yes. And then we have Lydia Eyre. And if you ever get out to her graveyard, it's out near Northern Essex Community College in a triangle. I always forget the name of the streets, Bill. You can help me out there.
Yeah, but I know that a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, is actually buried in that cemetery. I know exactly where you're talking about, but it's like the Riverside Cemetery, or at least something
Right.
in that
If
area.
you go past Northern Essex, keep going
Right.
straight out, you'll see. You can't miss it. It's in the middle of the street,
Right.
the way of intersection.
on the river, go between Northern Essex and the reservoir.
Right.
Just keep going straight, and you'll run right into it.
Right. There's a beautiful stone of Lydia Eyre, and it is gorgeous, let me tell you.
And is that haunted?
It's got her own genealogy, and I've been told by residents and neighbors in that area that they sometimes see a lady in that area. So eventually, we'll get up there. But Pentucket Graveyard, we actually investigated years and years ago, and we got some great photographs in there. There was a group in there one night, and I was helping this group. It was a fundraiser for a local. It wasn't a fundraiser, sorry. It was a business thing this guy was running, and he paid to rent the location in April, and he used the Pentucket Graveyard as part of the rental. He was in there at night. We took in up there, a whole group of them. Channel 4 News was here that night. Everybody could feel something at the top of this hill. We took the hill. Then I got back to the main headquarters of where we were doing this from, and my cell phone disappeared. The next day, we went looking for my cell phone. 2 years later, there's a guy cutting the lawn, and all of a sudden, my cell phone is found.
What condition?
Oh, it was in not great condition, but
But let me ask you a question, though. Since when you lost the phone, were there any calls made in the 2-year period of time from that phone?
No.
We found it.
no.
Okay, I didn't know if
No.
E.T. was calling home or whatever.
No. Very good friends of mine in the paranormal. She's not living in this country right now. She lives in Japan with her lovely husband, and I bet they're going to listen to this because they follow us on Facebook. Very respectable family in Haverhill. She had her own group and went out to the Jewish cemetery in Haverhill. Well. We ended up catching what was deemed as the 9 o'clock ghost.
Ghost comes 9 o'clock?
No, if you look at it 9 o'clock on a clock. So you had one head to the 9 and one to the 12 over the stone. It's pretty cool, actually. If you Google Essex County Ghost Project, you'll find that photograph. And then, of course, that's
a photo of somebody?
Two people.
Really?
So, yes,
Yeah.
really.
Wow.
Okay, we have a call, but we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. So, caller, do hang on. We'll be right back to you right after we take a short pause on the Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open mic.
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
Your membership enables WHAV to remain local and independent. Consider joining at WHAV.net.
Catch the wave.
Melinda's Garden Moments help gardeners create and maintain a healthy, beautiful garden with ease, inside or out and all year long. This is Melinda Myers, inviting you to tune in every weekday morning, right here on WHAV. You'll learn creative ways to grow your own vegetables and herbs while beautifying your landscape. Eco-friendly lawn care, flower garden design basics, unique container gardens, attracting birds and butterflies to the landscape, and much more. Again, please join me weekday mornings for Melinda's Garden Moment for a very environmentally friendly approach to gardening. Remember, only local radio can bring you this feature opportunity, but only WHAV does.
Community Spotlight.
Haverhill's citywide trick-or-treat takes place on Saturday the 27th from 5 to 7 p.m., while Methuen's Candy Grab happens on Wednesday the 31st from 5 to 7 p.m. In New Hampshire, Plastow's Littlest Goblins will be out from 5:30 to 7, with Atkinson and Sandown following suit from 6 to 8 p.m. Submit your own nonprofit events and announcements at least 3 weeks in advance. For best results, use the online form under the Contact tab at WHAV.net. In the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, I'm Eric Scott.
Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents The Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we are back on the Open Mic Show. Bill Macek here and my co-host Bill Ellis. Our guest tonight for our first annual Halloween show on the Open Mic is Tom Spitaliere, who's a ghost hunter extraordinaire, and also we have Angie, who is you're a psychic, right? Is that safe to say? Put it that spiritual consultant. Yeah. Okay, and she will tell your future if you give her a call at 978-374-1900. Tonight we are doing on-air readings, so give us a call. And we have a call online, I believe, so let's see if that caller is still on hold. Hello, caller.
Hey, what's going on? How we doing?
We're doing good. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well. You know, it's a nice, crisp Monday here in Haverhill with Mr. Macek and company here on 97.9.
You got it. Well, you did you call in to speak to Angie?
I mean, I figure why not? I mean, obviously want to give a quick hello to Tom. You know, he's been a nice part of the community over the past, long time here. So anyway, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right. Where'd you go? Caller?
Yeah, what's going on? You
Okay.
got Angie on the line?
She's
I'm here.
there. Yeah.
Hey, how are you, Angie?
Okay, what is your name?
My name is Sean Morrison.
Hi, Sean Morrison. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
That's good. You got something special that you'd like to get some insight into?
I figured I would, I'd let you kind of roll the dice and give me give me your call.
Okay, well, give me your birth month and day.
Okay, it's April 17th.
Okay.
Give her a little time.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, I always ask you your date so that I can get a little bit of your energy to see what's going on around you in your energy fields. There's a lot of changes that are coming up. The changes that are coming, though, are going to bring you a lot more stability. Okay, so take heed in what people are advising you to do. Don't, sit back and don't make them have to pull you to the water. In other words, just do it. Okay? Change is good, and this change is going to actually bring you a lot of stability. And so next year is going to be a very, you're going to start to realize that you have a lot that you have accomplished. But unless you make the changes now and keep continuing to make changes, don't hesitate, don't sit on it, move forward with it. Okay? It's a lot that needs to be negotiated, but at the same time, if you don't negotiate now, you'll never get to where you really want to be by next year. Okay? Is there something going on in regards to your work or anything of that nature right now?
Full transparency, I'm going through a relationship transition that's long, over a decade in length. So,
okay.
I will even, I'll give you some accuracy in your words and some thanks for your time and, openness and vulnerability with digesting what you could even assume with my fire sign or.
Yeah, so the whole thing is that it's like I'm getting this feeling that you really have to put everything on the table, make the changes that you desire, and move forward fearlessly from that point. Okay, because that's what makes you very balanced by next year. So whether this be work or relationship, you're the one that has to make those calls. Take the chances. Okay, it's not gonna hinder you. It'll move you forward.
Yeah, I got a lot of great friends and family that have been already providing, a lot of clarity and giving me an open door to the pathway for more stability and making dreams a reality. So that's what's up. Thank you.
Your truth and integrity is more important than anything else. Okay?
Yeah.
So keep moving forward.
All right, just keep moving forward. Sounds good.
and go with your truth and integrity, because that really matters.
All right.
All right, thank you for your
Okay,
call.
thank
Thanks
you.
for your honesty
thanks
and
for
your
your time.
transparency calling in. Thank you very much. Okay, that's how easy it is right here, 97.9 FM, the Open Mic Show. We're doing our first annual Halloween show with Tom Spitaliere, who can talk about a lot of ghost stories and extraterrestrial stories. And then we have Angie here, can tell you about things that you should expect to happen in the not too distant future, right, Angie? Yeah.
So you predicting the Red Sox win?
She doesn't. We talked about that earlier.
We talked about that earlier.
I know that, but
She said
I
one
have to
thing-
know if I'm going to make a wager. I want to know: are they going to win?
Well, then you kill you. I have a brother-in-law who tries to do that with me. Once the money comes into it, you really mess it up, okay?
Really?
So don't go messing it up.
Who was the big star of the Red Sox the last time they played the Dodgers?
Well, go ahead. You must know the answer.
I
If you're
don't have
asking,
that
if you're
answer,
asking
sorry.
the question, you
Babe
must know
Ruth.
the answer.
21-year-old phenom, Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the Dodgers was like what
That's right.
100
Now that you
years
say
ago,
that, you
give or
maybe-
take.
yeah, that's right.
Well, no, the Dodgers were there once, a couple times in the last 100 years.
No, with the Red Sox.
Oh, with the Red Sox,
Yeah.
yes. But they
Yeah.
were there. 88 was my favorite year for the Dodgers.
So, Tom, what do you think? Who's going to win? Just a gentleman's discussion.
Just a gentleman's discussion. I'm going for the Red Sox. On paper, it looks like it's going to be a cakewalk, but every time I say it's going to be a cakewalk, it ends up being
Yeah, well,
it ends up being interesting. But
I mean that's what I think too. But as Angie
It's
said,
gonna be
one
interesting.
thing can
There's
happen,
something
right?
going.
Somebody can get hurt.
yeah,
Chris Sale can get a stomach ache again, and the next thing you know, we don't have our ace. So
Well, my feeling is it is going to get very interesting, but they will come out of this. They'll pull it off.
question is how the Dodgers play in Boston tomorrow night. It's going to be cold.
and Friday night.
I don't
is
think they're
it?
used to that kind of
Yeah.
cool temperatures.
No, it's going to be chilly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's starting
it's
to get a
gonna
little too late for this, huh?
Yeah. Well, the series is a lot later than it used to be.
Yes, it
It
is.
used to always be
Well,
in
you have
October,
so many in the
early to
series
mid
now.
October. Yeah.
Right.
But
Right.
now they
Now we're going to November.
they stretched it out. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there used to be a shorter season. I don't remember that, but they were talking about it when there weren't 164 games. I think it was
162.
162 now. Is that what
Yeah.
it is? But it was less than that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Well,
Yeah, because what ended up
definitely.
happening is they have to put asterisks beside any records that took place.
Because-
So
yeah.
if somebody did it in 150 games versus 162.
Right.
Well,
So that-
I might be aging myself, but I can remember being in second grade and the boys all bringing their transistor radios in with them. Probably the second
What's a
week of-
transistor radio?
Yeah, exactly. About the second week of school, they'd be all there.
Now they have their cell phones on their hips and earplugs in their ears. You can't even see.
You can't tell, right. All right, well, 978-374 is the number to call if you would like
1-900, last four digits.
374, what did I say, 374?
You didn't give the whole number,
Oh,
Bill.
374-1900. Well, I thought they would know that. It was like cryptic.
The little psychic thing
they
going
should
on
hear
here?
that. Yeah, they
Wow.
should have heard it enough from listening to this show that they know the end of that number. 978-374-1900. Give us a call if you would like to speak to
I want to talk more
any of
about
us.
the aliens. I'm really intrigued by that. Now, SETI,
Aliens.
have they actually ever heard any messages from outer space?
There's been some recordings, as far as I've heard. I'm not a ufologist. I have a ufologist on my team, but I'm not the ufologist. I have heard some settings. I haven't really. We investigate anything. I get a call, I go. Bigfoot. I've done the Bridgewater Triangle looking for just about everything under the sun down there. Bigfoot, Birdman, UFOs, and all this other stuff.
Well, didn't they hear from outer space that one giant step for mankind? Didn't that come from outer space?
Bill, there was a human being that
That
said
was a
that.
human
Neil
being.
Armstrong.
Well, you didn't say it had
July
to be from an
20th.
alien. You just said, has anybody heard transmissions
Right.
from,
SETI wouldn't have picked that
from
up,
outer space?
Bill.
But let me just finish up what I was saying before we went on break. The other big haunted location in Haverhill, and if there's going to be more, I'm getting together a big, huge file on haunted Haverhill, and might do something with that down the road.
That sounds like a book. that's coming.
I don't know about that, but we'll see what happens. I don't have the time to do that. My time is busy. But Hilldale Cemetery, the third most haunted graveyard, we've gotten heads coming out of the ground, ladies in white in 2 different locations.
That's your cemetery, Tom.
That's mine, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
You kind of brought that back from the dead.
Yeah, I did. We did, with the help of Tammy Dabrowski and
Yeah,
all the
good
volunteers.
group,
Because without Tammy and all those volunteers,
It was like
it
an
wouldn't have come
abandoned,
back
almost
from
an
the dead.
abandoned cemetery.
Yeah, it was an abandoned historical site that was long overdue for a cleanup.
Now, do many of these spirits come out in the day?
Oh, yes.
A lot of daytime
A
spirits?
former team member of mine, actually, and we got pictures of this, actually, caught, actually 2 former team members caught some shadowing. One was a shadow and one was mist around a stone. The shadow looked like a sailor. So they went up the hill and there was a sailor's gravestone tipped over. So the crew went over and picked up that gravestone. They took another picture and the shadow was gone.
Wow.
So we fixed his gravestone because we weren't, when you do repair work in a cemetery, you just don't go jump around because you never get anything done. So you pick one section and you go. You finish the section, you go to the next section. So we jumped sections on purpose just because we wanted to see what that shadow figure was all about.
Now, we talked before we went on the air. Spirits are people that have passed away that haven't finished, or they died unexpectedly. They still have something left to do. How do they get it done?
Well, they get it done through communicating with you.
All right, so a spirit's going to come to me and
It
say,
communicates
you
with
got to do this.
No, not like that.
All right.
It may
How am
give
I
you-
going to understand what they're going to say?
Right, it's going to give you subtle hints. It may not even like you. It may try to run you out of your house.
Oh, my God.
So we've had to deal with those.
I've had that happen, but that was my mother.
But they might move the keys around. They might try to communicate with you. You might wake up and see it at the foot of the bed. Many ways you could take a recorder and do what is called electric voice phenomena that have been around since the beginning of time. I just figured out how to battery pack something, so our EVPs are going to get a lot better. Most teams use digital recorders. We still do. I also use cassette tapes. But I found a way to create a battery pack. Now, I'm dating myself, people. I'm an old man.
Now, what's a battery pack?
A battery pack is to give so they can plug into and
Power.
make this power.
It's power.
Yeah. So I found a way to create power for I don't know, if someone calls up and they know what this is, I'll give away a free ghost hunt down at Hilldale Cemetery. But if they do that, we'll do this. I used a reel-to-reel player.
Yeah, I know what that
I'm going to
is.
be using reel-to-reel,
Yeah.
which was originally used back in the 60s. So, and it goes at a slower pace, so the recording's going to be a lot better. The EVPs will be a lot sharper.
High fidelity.
All right. Hey, we're going to take another break, Tom. Is that all
All
right?
right, yeah,
I don't
why
mean to be
not?
stopping you in the middle
No
of your
worries.
thought. Okay, but I have been doing that.
Yes.
Anyway, this is the Open Mic Show, first annual Halloween show. You can call in tonight. You got a half an hour left to get your free on-air reading at 978-374-1900 on the Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open mic.
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
It's 7:31.
Try listening to WHAV in your car or anywhere on your mobile phone. For fast access, visit WHAV.net.
Say Smith. Mercedes-Benz has for over 50 years. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill offers new and certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz SUVs, crossovers, sedans, and coupes. And with its state-of-the-art sales and service facility, Smith is able to offer a different kind of customer experience unlike any other. Countless reasons, one choice. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill at 420 River Street, routes 110 and 113. There's more on the web at onlymercedes.com.
That we deliberate and achieve with wisdom and understanding, recognizing the rights of all of our citizens with full regard for the dignity and justice of the individual.
Each week, WHAV News brings you live gavel-to-gavel coverage of the Haverhill City Council. Listen to 97.9 WHAV FM each Tuesday night at 7 when the City Council is in session from the Theodore A. Pelosi Jr. City Council Chambers in City Hall. Presented as a public service from 97.9 WHAV FM.
Wave weather.
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. Clouds quickly thicken up this evening into the overnight, becoming cloudy with a low near 37. Calm breeze and only around 5 miles per hour from the southeast tomorrow. Few isolated showers early in the day and more scattered rain chances as we go through the afternoon. Temperatures just around 50. Rain chances gradually diminish as Tuesday evening turns into night. Lows again around 40 degrees and a light breeze. Mainly cloudy skies Wednesday, an isolated shower. Temperatures top out between about 50 and 53. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
WHAV Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents The Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And we are back on the Open Mic Show on the first annual Halloween show. And we have Tom Spitaliere, a ghost hunter, and also we have Angie. She is a psychic, and she'd be glad to give you some information on your future if you call in at 978-374-1900. We're here just until about 8 o'clock tonight, so you will have a little less than a half an hour to give us a call. And we have a caller online that would like to bring up. Hello, caller.
Hello, how are you doing?
Great. Would you like to speak to Angie?
Well, I was going to say hello to Tom, actually.
Okay, you can do that. And are you on a speakerphone or some? Because you're a little bit echoey. If you can get on a direct line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Direct line. Okay.
All right.
That should be better now.
Okay, great. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Tom, go right ahead.
Yes, sir. How are we doing tonight?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
I wanted to ask you if you have ever had any doings with Keith and Sandra Johnson of Near Paranormal.
Oh, yes. They came up and helped us out with the Tenney Gatehouse, and that was a great time. And then actually, I went down to Rhode Island on a trip to Rhode Island and actually interviewed those. They were two lovely people.
Well, thank you for saying so, Tom, because this is Keith.
I thought that's who this was. Here's a guy, guys, that knows his stuff about demonology.
Thank you, Tom.
When it comes to thanks you for tuning in all the way in Rhode Island. When it comes to demonology, this guy's number one in my book.
Aha.
Thank you, Tom.
No problem.
Tom, you want to ask him a few questions so people can hear his answers then, if he's an expert on demonology?
Yeah. What was one of your favorite cases?
One of my favorite cases was, it was actually the case, it was my first in-home case when I was still a teenager, and that was the case that The Conjuring was based on, the movie The Conjuring. And that took place in Rhode Island in the early 1970s in Harrisville, Rhode Island. And we were called into a house in Harrisville, and we met the Perrin family. And it turned out that was the real deal. There was stuff going on in that house. I came up to the stairs. The children gave me a tour of the house. They took me up the stairs, and they said, "This is the bedroom where we're most scared." So I began praying with them. I began praying with them in the name of Jesus, and suddenly everything just, a window slammed next to me that couldn't previously be shut. One of the girls got slapped, so she practically fell off the bed. It was just mayhem. But I kept praying, and whatever it was left the room. But you could cut that atmosphere with a knife. It was like almost electric in that room. And shortly afterwards, my brother and I did get in touch with Ed and Lorraine Warren, and that's how they became involved in it.
Yes, that was quite the case.
Yes, that was one of my favorite.
Now, does that house still have activity in it today?
I think it does. It's very, the last time I was in it, of course, different homeowners, it was not anywhere near like when the parents lived there. You really couldn't feel it. But I did get some response on EVP, electronic voice phenomena, so whatever was there is still there. It's just not nearly as active as it used to be. But who knows, if another family moves in there, it may start up again.
Well, like everything else, as you know, in this field, if you got happy families and happy times in the house, the spirit activity is going to be happy. But if you have unhappy times in your house, the spirits are going to feed off that unhappy time.
Right. And I think having 5 daughters of various ages with the Perrin family, really, I think it was feeding off their energy a lot, their teenage and pre-teenage angst there. So that really set things off. And of course, it was an older couple that eventually bought the house, and they didn't experience near what the Perrins did. But then again, that was a different situation with an older, more relaxed couple. So
without little kids running around.
Yeah, when The Conjuring came out, that disturbed their peace, because you've got people at 2 or 3 in the morning looking inside their windows, peering inside their windows to see if they can see the activity going on. So that disrupted their peace of mind.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Sure it would. Yeah.
I bet it did.
Yeah. And there was another case of demonic possession my brother and I worked on. It involved a 14-year-old boy, and he seemed to be legitimately possessed, demonically possessed. And tell you, when he went under possession, my brother happened to be sitting in a chair. There was so much energy in the room, the chair just moved back about 3 feet by itself. And it was not a small chair; it was a family easy chair with my brother sitting in it. And so that was another hair-raising case we worked on some years ago.
Yeah, you've had quite a few down there, because you do a lot in the paranormal between your show and everything else. But also, too, I know you're also very famous up this way. You know that, right?
Oh, well, that's nice for you to say. I'm glad my reputation precedes me.
Not only in the paranormal, but in the literary field, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. Well, I've written a few books, the Paranormal Realities series, and working on a book on a handbook on demonology now. That's what I'm currently working on.
Oh, I can't wait to see that one. And then, of course, you have writing in your family's heritage.
Yes, Yes, we do. H.P. Lovecraft. Exactly, yes. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yes, H.P. Lovecraft. If he were alive today, he would be my second cousin. And
Yeah.
so I can't say I ever met the man, but he passed in 1937. But
Few
I'm
years
actually
after
very
you were
proud
born.
to be related, you know.
In fact, I gotta, if you can private message me your address, I got something I gotta send to you, actually. I've been meaning to call you, but it's a little busy up here this time of year for me.
Yes, I'm sure it is very busy this time of year.
Yes.
Yes, I will do that, Tom. And
All right.
It's been nice chatting.
Nice chatting with you, sir.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome, and I'll talk to you soon.
Talk
Tom.
to you soon. Yeah, okay.
Great call.
Bye-bye.
Okay, it's 20 minutes till 8 on the Open Mic Show on our first annual Halloween show. And if you would like to get a free on-air reading, then just give us a call. We have somebody online right now, and we're going to go to that call. Hello, caller.
Hey, how are you, Bill?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'll just give Ange my name, Rod, and my birthday is 10/28.
Can you just speak up a little louder? It's
I got Rod.
Okay, Rod.
Rod 1028.
1028.
Yeah, I just want to, long-time listener, Bill and Bill Pike, old neighbor Bill Pike, and Tom, I want to thank you for doing a real good job over to the cemetery, Hilldale. My great-grandfather and grandmother were buried there, and I have a lot of relatives there, and
That you do. And you've done some great work, and it's actually a conglomerate effort at Hilldale. It's not just me. It's Tammy, it's Acasio's, it's you, it's other family members coming in and helping out. It's been a great ride at Hilldale to clean that up.
I'm a cemetery guy. I ran Riverview Cemetery, and I retired out of there, and when I was a kid, I worked in Elmwood couple times, and I'm always in the cemetery as far as like going up to Vermont. But I know you spent some time in Kimball Tavern.
Yes.
And I know that's in the book of haunted taverns, Kimball Tavern.
It is.
What did you experience over there? I never really talked to you about it.
What we experienced at Kimball Tavern was actually there's an old area of the tavern that was probably used either at first to hide from Native American attacks, if there was one up that way, and I can't remember any that actually hit Bradford, and later on the Underground Railroad. We caught some shadow figures in there, if my memory serves me right. That was so long ago. I think we caught a couple EVPs up there too. I'll have to go back and check the file. I can get back to you on that one, because that was, 4 or 5 years ago at least.
The old schoolhouse that was moved down by Carter's.
Yeah.
Aren't you an alumni of Bradford College?
I am an alum of Bradford College. I've seen plenty of things in there at night.
You know what Bradford College was started?
Yes.
Kimball Tavern, 1803.
Yes.
Right. That's right.
So, and we're having the alumni coming back every year, but I don't know what's going to happen now. We stopped selling antiques. But maybe something.
It's still a beautiful building, and it's still
is.
got its paranormal activity.
Yeah, and I just want to say, one strange thing would happen to me in the cemetery. I had over Riverview. I this black fellow worked for me, Ray, and he come running up to me. He says, "Woody," I says, "Yeah." I said, "Ray, what's the matter?" He says, "Did you see that woman?" I says, "No, I didn't see. There's no woman here." He says, "Yeah, he just tapped me on the shoulder." I said, "Where?" "We're down the hill over there, about 5-10 minutes ago." And we've searched all over. And she asked him his name, and the next thing we never saw her again. That was kind of strange.
It was.
Okay,
yes.
well.
Yes, it was.
Another thing that happened one night, I was coming up Broadway. I left the stadium, and I was coming up towards Liberty Street. You know, Joe, your Uncle Joe lives on the corner there. And I'm in a convertible, Volkswagen convertible. And the next thing I know, there's something. I had a few drinks that night, but there was something hovering over me. And just out of the blue, it just disappeared. I thought maybe it was the booze, but...
Well, you never know. But
maybe not. Maybe not. I think we've all kind of had some strange occurrences in our life.
Yes.
So,
I love the I love Hillville Cemetery.
Thank you, and we love you too.
It's a good spot. Thanks for calling in. We do have to take a quarter of the hour break, and call again anytime. You know that. We appreciate your conversation right here on the Open Mic Show. We'll be back with the final segment of our first annual Halloween show on the Open Mic on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open mic.
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
Broadcasting on the Armstrong FM system, this is 97.9 WHAV.
Catch the wave.
Suspense, a weekly anthology of notable melodramas from stage and screen, fiction and radio, presented every Monday night to bring you to the edge of your chair, to keep you in suspense. Listen to the new Suspense with a company of Hollywood actors and surprising guest stars, Monday nights at 10, with encore performances at 1 a.m., right here on WHAV. Remember, only local radio can bring you this feature opportunity, but only WHAV does.
Say Smith. Mercedes-Benz has for over 50 years. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill offers new and certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz SUVs, crossovers, sedans, and coupes. And with its state-of-the-art sales and service facility, Smith is able to offer a different kind of customer experience unlike any other. Countless reasons, one choice. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill at 420 River Street, routes 110 and 113. There's more on the web at onlymercedes.com.
WHAV. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents The Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And we are back on the final segment of the Open Mic Show's first annual Halloween show. And myself, Bill Macek, along with my co-host Bill Ellis, are enjoying our two guests tonight. We have Tom Spitaliere, who is a ghost hunter, on top of many other things. A ghost hunter extraordinaire, though. You call it paranormal, right?
Yes.
Tom? Yes. And I call it ghost hunter.
Yes.
And then we have Angie here, who has been letting some people in on their future. And if you would like to get in, you give us a call right away at 978-374-1900, and hopefully we'll get to your call. But we have a caller on hold right now we're going to go to. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. And would you like to speak with Angie?
Sure.
Okay, she's waiting.
Okay, what do you need from me?
Well, hello. What is your name?
My name is Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Hi.
I always start with your birthday, just your day and month and day, that's all.
June 6th.
Thank you. 5th?
6th.
Oh, 6th, okay.
Is there a certain area?
A certain area that I want to hear?
Yeah, that you want to talk about?
What are you
Angie?
interested in as far as, is there something specific that you want me to?
Maybe my love life?
Yeah, love life, huh? Are you with somebody at this time?
Currently, yeah.
Okay.
But not solid.
All right. You have been going through, okay, so what I'm feeling here is that you've been going through some changes in the thoughts and ideas. You have to have a little bit of patience with this. I feel that this is going to be I'm not going to sit there and stamp it and say that this relationship is going to last forever, but it does have its possibilities. There's just something about having a little bit more patience in regards to what needs to be ironed out. And also, there's also a feeling here of you knowing that you need to keep your control. Okay, like you're the empress. You're the one that needs to have your control. In other words, if this relationship comes to a point where it's all about him, or there's not much time spent with you being able to do what you need to do. It's time to back off from it, or to bring it up and say, look, this is only going to work if it's like this. Because you've gone through in the past gaining your own control back, and I feel that that's the biggest thing. Keep your control. Don't let that ever walk away from you again.
Okay.
So that is where your decision is going to be based. However, I do feel that this person is going to be one that will accept it as long as it is brought to their attention.
Okay.
Okay. Something else that you'd like to look into?
My work?
Your work. Have you been there for a while? Or
Yes.
Okay. I don't see any really, it's the typical, okay? It's just a typical feeling. Don't let yourself get all stressed over things one day at a time. If there's a certain burden that was put on that has to be out probably by the end of this month, know that you'll make the deadline, but don't go crazy over it, because the more you put the fear into it, the more you put into the anxiety, the less gets done. Other people have to step up to the plate right now, okay? It's not all about you doing it all. Other people have to put their piece in.
Okay.
Make sure that you delegate. Okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
A little, yep.
Okay. Is there anything specific that you want to go into with that?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say, I feel that this is going to be a year for you to really start becoming concrete again. I do know from your energy that you have gone through a time of regrowth for yourself. Okay, and now that you're almost full again, is how I feel. Okay,
That's
you're
how
almost
I
full
feel
again.
that too.
And now that you're full again, don't let anybody empty you out.
Okay.
Yeah, you know where you stand. Walk high and in dignity.
Okay.
Okay, and
All right.
enjoy the next year, because I do know that there's some good fruitful things coming for you.
Excellent.
Okay. Thank you for checking
Any other
in.
questions? Is that it?
No, that's it.
Okay, well, thank you for calling. Thanks for listening to the Open Mic Show, and happy Halloween.
Thank you. You too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, this is our first annual Halloween show on the Open Mic Show, and we have Tom and Angie here talking about things that are kind of Halloween related. Now, do you think that Halloween, do spirits, do they become more active on Halloween? Are there things that happen because it's Halloween? Is there really that time period that kind of gets them going?
Yeah, I know, it gets them going. Well, Hallows Eve is, when you think about Hallows Eve and you think of this season, it's about regrowth, it's about opening up and being fertile, and everything's starting to slow down because all the fertilization is done. So when we really look at this time of year, it is a good time for that. Like we sit back, we're not running around in the fields like we were in the summer, or we're not, autumn is this time of let's stop, let's give thanks, let's nurture. And as we do this, Hallows Eve, of course, is all about spirit, and spirit includes ourselves too.
Right.
'Cause
now
we are
Salem, we're
spirits.
close to Salem, and
Salem
is
mass,
like
yeah.
People come,
yeah.
I think, internationally.
And that's an international spot. And
Yeah.
the whole thing with that is that's what brings the energy out too. The more intention that is put onto something, the stronger the intention, the stronger the energy becomes.
Now they have a number of different houses down, like the House of Seven Gables
Yes,
is
they
down
do.
there, and then
Yeah.
there's I
Yeah.
can't think of the names of the
There's
other
quite
houses.
a few
but-
different places
Yeah.
down there, and it's a nice place to get some history of Massachusetts, actually,
Right.
with the witch trials. and
Tom,
all
have you
that.
done any ghost hunting in Salem?
We've done a couple private homes in Salem through the years.
We don't do too much of that down
Yeah.
there. We not as a group. I mean, I've gone through the cemeteries myself. It's
Now, how
you can
about the
pick up some
candy?
stuff.
Do spirits have a craving for candy, and that's why?
I think that's just a kid's thing.
The fairies do.
That's the
Fairies
marketing side. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the marketing side.
Yeah. That's like That's like cards for every occasion. and-
Right.
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So, well, look, the stores have to make money too, right? Yeah.
I'm curious about Gettysburg. Spirits there. They say that's rich.
I cannot drive through that area.
Really?
Because
It's
you just get
it
too
feels
much
horrible.
too much vibe. Yeah.
It feels horrible.
Wow.
Now, have you been to any place else that gives you the same feeling?
Not as bad as that, honestly.
Yeah.
I will say that one of the places I get really, like, I just get this horrible feeling is, of course, at Ground Zero. I've been down there a couple of times now. That's a hard place to be.
I bet.
Is there any, who's the oldest spirit on record? I mean, we look at the colonial era, there's a lot. But if I were to go to Rome or Athens, would I get gladiators?
That one I don't know.
Keep track of that.
No, I don't know about that one.
Do you have something
it's funny because when you go into like an area that has had a very strong tragedy, okay, the spirits need that release. And the worst thing I hate to see when I go into one of these places are people that are trying to make money off of the whole area. And I was really saddened last year because I went to New York and you had a lot of peddlers on the street, peddling off this whole. And I was just like, my heart was like sinking because it's like I could feel. As a matter of fact, I took pictures of the fountain. And in the pictures, some of the orbs showed up and some of the people's.
Really?
Yeah, there was things that showed up in the pictures.
Interesting.
Wow.
Well, we're going to have to bring you both back. Tom, you have something? We got a few minutes left. You want to get
We had
into
that
something
caller
else?
call in and wanted me to run those dates one more time.
Yes, absolutely. We want to do that.
So October 24th, Wednesday night, I'll be at the Lawrence Heritage State Park talking Beyond the Grave about the history of gravestones and gravestone carving in New England, plus showing some paranormal pictures taken in local cemeteries. October 26th, Seabrook, New Hampshire, the Old South Meeting House right on Route 1. That's a fundraiser. We will be there that night with our friend Paulino, who's also another descendant of Howland P. Lovecraft. And then on October 30th, I'll be at the Nevins Library doing it, and that's also a free event, talking about channeling.
And the Nevins Library
is in Methuen. Yes,
Right. Yeah.
right on Route 28.
Right on 28.
Who's the most famous person that either one of you has channeled with?
The most famous person
Yeah.
I've channeled with.
I mean, like, have you called on Lincoln or Washington or
I haven't.
Babe Ruth?
No.
No.
They never lived around here.
So they have to live around here to channel?
Well, they
Not
do
necessarily,
houses
but-
and.
Is there so many wattage that you can reach out to on channeling, or is it worldwide?
This is something, okay.
We could actually spend a whole show on channeling, to be honest
There's quite
with
a bit
you.
of different things that you could do with channeling, and
Maybe we'll do a separate show on that.
Yeah, because we're
I'd
not
like
going to
to
finish
find
that
out.
in three.
Yeah.
In
All right,
the
let
time left.
Tom finish his list.
I
because
do-
we're
if I
coming
could
up on
just-
8.
if I
Go
could
ahead.
just
Go
Let
ahead.
everybody know that I will be in Hudson, New Hampshire at the Lions Ave Community Center on the 27th of October, offering readings for the Lions Club, which is, of course, a nonprofit.
The Lions Club, and that's in where?
Hudson, New Hampshire.
Hudson, New Hampshire. Okay. And that's on October 27th.
27th, yeah.
Okay.
And I did everything.
And
You did everything?
Yeah.
Okay, well, how about your contact information, just in case
That-
somebody wants
If your
to-
house is haunted and you need us, or your families are haunted and you need some help, give me a call at 978-376-2807. I'll answer up the phone and I'll chat with you, see what's going on, and we'll bring the team in and help you out.
Okay. And Angie, your
And
contact
myself, if
information?
you're in need of some guidance, 603-321-4818, AngieDonjou.com.
Okay, all right. Well, I want to thank both of you for coming in.
Thank you for
It's
having
been
us.
a great
Thank you, Bill.
first annual Halloween show, and you I think opened a lot of eyes and set paths for people this evening. And Tom, you told some great stories, and I know you got a whole lot more. We're gonna have you guys back, I hope.
Yes.
And we'll do
Well, I think
this
for the
again.
second anniversary show,
Yeah.
we should do channeling with the devil.
I'm not sure if I'm going to do
Well,
that one.
we're
That's a
not
little
sure.
dangerous.
Yeah.
That would be dangerous?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got to understand, channeling is, we can't get into it because
We're
it's
not-
just too scientific, but channeling can be very dangerous. So if
Really?
you want to know more about channeling, come next week to the
'Cause I
Nevins
was
Library
curious if the
Wednesday
devil
night,
swears.
7 o'clock.
I think maybe we could do it on the second anniversary. We'll do a séance with you.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
No, do I have to be dead to be have a seance?
I don't know. Do you have to be dead, or maybe?
Trust me, Billy. If I go before next year, I will be back.
All right.
I
And
have
that's
to
only-
ask, though,
Yeah.
you know, as long as you don't have any enemies that have died, because sometimes when you channel and you've got an enemy who's passed, a lot of stuff hits the fan here.
Really?
Well,
It
maybe
does.
We'll have to.
So-
We'll have to decide what we're going to do, but we'll have to
Jeez.
do something.
I'll have to stay alive because I got a lot of enemies on the other side.
We'll ramp it up a little
I'll be
bit.
like the medium on The Sopranos.
Yeah. Okay. And on that note, I'm going to thank everybody for listening. Thank everybody who called in. And we're going to be back next Monday night right here on the Open Mic Show, 6 to 8 every Monday night. It's the place for you to be. Make it Appointment Radio right here and only on WHAV 97.9 FM. Happy Halloween.
Join Bill Macek live on the Open Mic again next Monday night at 6. The Open Mic Show is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of April, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. The opinions expressed on the Open Mic Show are not necessarily those of 97.9 WHAV FM, its underwriters, or affiliated stations. The Open Mic Show came to you from the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom.